You walk into a coffee shop you've never been to, in a city you've never visited, and suddenly, bam, you've done this exact moment before. Same order. Same guy dramatically spilling his oat milk like it personally betrayed him. Same song playing, except you haven't. You landed 3 hours ago. You don't even know this barista's name, yet some tiny caveman. Part of your brain is fully convinced you two have history. That's deja vu. And no, it doesn't mean you're psychic. It doesn't mean the matrix is glitching. And it definitely doesn't mean you lived a past life as this exact same customer, ordering this exact same oat milk. It means your memory system just tripped over its own shoelaces in public. Let's find out why. Déjà vu is French for already seen, which is very elegant for something that basically feels like your brain sending you a text that says, I know this, immediately followed by, wait. Ignore that, I don't. About 60 to 70% of people get it, usually most between ages 15 and 25. And then, weirdly, it starts fading as you get older, which feels backwards. You'd think more years of collecting memories means more chances for your brain to mix them up like a toddler mixing paint colours. But no, turns out it's the opposite, and we'll get to why. The leading theory, from psychologist Anne Cleary at Colorado State University, is basically this. Your brain has a receptionist whose entire job is going, have we met before? Every time you enter a new room. Most of the time, she's great at her job. Occasionally, she gets it catastrophically, confidently wrong. Here's the thing. She's not checking if she recognizes the objects in the room. She's checking the layout, the floor plan, the vibe. In Cleary's lab, they built virtual reality scenes with completely different objects, but the exact same spatial layout as scenes people had seen earlier. And people got hit with deja vu way more in those look-alike layouts. So your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's actually succeeding at spotting a pattern. It just faceplants at the last step, which is telling you where that pattern came from. It's like recognizing someone's walk from across the street, confidently waving at them, and then realizing you have absolutely no idea who that is. Some researchers think deja vu might be a timing glitch, like your brain buffers, the way a video does right before it freezes on your most unflattering facial expression. One neural pathway processes what you're seeing, and a second pathway processes the exact same thing a split second later. Your brain gets the rerun before it's finished cataloging the original, and files it as old memory instead of thing that is currently literally happening to you. Basically, you're not seeing the past. You're seeing 0.4 seconds ago, mislabeled. This bit is actually solid, not a guess. Researchers can trigger deja vu-like feelings by electrically stimulating the rhinal cortex, a part of the brain involved in familiarity. And people with temporal lobe epilepsy sometimes get intense deja vu right before a seizure. That's how we know this isn't mystical. It's a specific physical brain circuit misfiring. To be very clear before anyone spirals, getting deja vu now and then does not mean you have epilepsy. Everyone's receptionist brain messes up occasionally. It's only worth mentioning to a doctor if it's frequent, intense, or comes with things like blacking out or losing time. Not just, I felt weird for 2 seconds in Tesco. And this also explains the age thing from earlier. Younger brains have snappier, more sensitive memory checking systems, so their receptionist glitches more often. As you age, the whole system slows down, and ironically, glitches less. Getting older, bad for your knees, weirdly good for your deja vu rate. I already know someone's in the comments loading up their best I dreamed this exact moment 3 years ago story. Respect the commitment, but no controlled study has ever linked deja vu to precognition, past lives, or parallel universes bleeding into this one. It just feels enormous because it's rare and strange, and brains love turning strange into significant. Your brain isn't a mystic, it's a slightly overworked filing cabinet. that occasionally drops a folder on your foot. So next time it hits, that little shiver of, wait, I've done this, you can relax. You're not glimpsing another timeline. You're just watching your own memory software buffer for half a second, like a receptionist who confidently greeted the wrong customer. Subscribe for more brain weirdness explained without the mystical nonsense. And tell me in the comments, what's the weirdest deja vu you've ever had?